Lil Jon adopted meditation and wellness a couple of years ago, and those results have been paying off in the gym in ways that are impossible to ignore. Let's just say he's not so little anymore. It's the kind of transformation that catches you off guard, even if you've been following him for years. Fans who first knew him in the early 2000s remember the oversized sunglasses, the wild dreadlocks, the larger-than-life personality, and of course, the booming voice that turned "yeah" and "okay" into pop culture fixtures. Back then, Lil Jon was all about the party, and not just musically. His image, his stage presence, even the chaos of his music videos all suggested a man who lived in perpetual motion, fueled by adrenaline, late nights, and high-octane energy. But what they're seeing now in his latest gym videos is a man who's just as intentional about his stillness as he is about his movement, someone who's redefined what power looks like for him. In a short but telling clip posted to his social media on Thursday, Jon is absolutely melting the iron. The gym isn't just a background prop here, it's the place where his commitment to himself has been forged rep by rep over the past 2 years. There's no crowd, no pyrotechnics, no cameras flashing in the corner. Just the sound of weights clinking, his breath steady, and that focus in his eyes that says he's not here for a quick session. He's here for the work. The video shows a man who's been in the trenches of personal discipline long enough to know that real change doesn't happen overnight. His arms are more defined, his frame is leaner, and there's a strength in his posture that isn't just physical. It's the quiet confidence of someone who's been putting in the work when nobody was watching. When he spoke to TMZ Hip Hop about his journey, Jon didn't dress it up or hide behind vague platitudes. "My diet is high protein, low carbs, spring water, no sugar, and no processed foods," he said plainly. No magic secret, no celebrity-endorsed miracle powder, just a clean, intentional approach to eating that cuts out the junk most people struggle to give up. "I've been hitting the gym 3 to 4 days a week for 2 years now. That's not a flash-in-the-pan workout phase, that's a lifestyle." And for a man who spent years hopping on planes for tour dates, staying up all night in recording studios, and living a life where sleep and balance often took a back seat to the grind, that shift is massive. "I've been dedicated to my health and wellness transformation both mentally and physically for a while now," he continued, and that word transformation says more than it seems. It's not just about swapping out soda for water or trading late-night takeout for meal prep chicken and greens. It's about rewiring the way you think about yourself, your time, your body, your limits, and your priorities. For Jon, it means carving out time to strengthen his body and his mind with equal dedication. His days aren't dictated solely by music industry chaos anymore. They're built around balance, and that balance is producing results you can see. What's interesting is how he ties his gym motivation to music. You might think he's blasting his own hits to get hyped, and he certainly could, with a catalog full of party anthems that still get crowds moving. But Jon says it's actually Soulja Boy's "Turn My Swag On" that gets him in the zone. Makes sense. The song is pure swagger, dripping with self-confidence, the perfect track to fuel a lifting session. For Jon, music has always been a source of energy, a trigger for movement, and in the gym that hasn't changed. He's just channeling it differently now. The beat drops, the lyrics hit, and suddenly the weights in front of him aren't just resistance. They're part of a performance he's giving himself. This focus on inner transformation isn't coming out of nowhere. Last year, Jon released a pair of meditation albums with Grammy-winning producer and author Kabir Sehgal. Yes, Lil Jon, the same man who gave us Get Low and Snap Yo Fingers, creating meditation albums. First, some fans thought it was a quirky side project, a one-off experiment. But those who followed his interviews and his personal updates know that mindfulness has become a real part of his daily life. The albums weren't for show, they were an extension of his personal journey, an attempt to share the peace he's been cultivating with anyone willing to listen. Meditation for him isn't just sitting in silence. It's resetting, finding clarity, and learning to carry that clarity into everything else, including the gym. Timing of those albums dropping alongside his appearance with Usher at the Super Bowl 58 halftime show felt symbolic. It was the perfect collision of the two worlds he's balancing, the high adrenaline energy of performing in front of millions and the grounded stillness of someone who knows how to breathe through it all. For decades, Lil Jon's brand was tied to a certain level of chaos, Fun, joyful chaos, but chaos nonetheless. Now he's showing that you can keep that energy without letting it run your life. You can still be the life of the party while also being the guy who wakes up early to meditate and train. That training takes place at Young LA Gym, a space known for attracting serious athletes and people who treat fitness as a craft. Jon trains with certified personal trainer Jay Galvin, who's known for an approach that blends science with grit. Under Galvin's guidance, Jon's not just piling on weight for the sake of ego lifts. He's working through deliberate, controlled movements designed to build strength that lasts. There's a big difference between looking strong for a photo op and actually being strong, and the consistency of his training proves he's aiming for the latter. The physical changes are obvious. His shoulders are broader, his arms more defined, his core tighter, but the mental changes are what give those physical results their staying power. Jon has talked about how cutting sugar and processed foods from his diet wasn't easy, especially for someone who, like most people, grew up surrounded by them. But once you push through the initial cravings and realize how much better you feel without them, it becomes less about sacrifice and more about choice. He's choosing to feel good, to recover faster, to have more energy, and to protect his health in the long term. And maybe that's the most inspiring part. This isn't tied to a movie role or a quick PR stunt. He didn't decide to get fit just to show up at an event looking shredded. He's doing it because he wants to live well, period. At 53, he's proving that it's never too late to make a shift. The body can adapt, the mind can grow, and habits can change no matter how deeply ingrained they are. That kind of commitment doesn't just happen. It's built slowly over hundreds of days where you choose discipline over excuses. Fans have noticed the difference, and the internet's reaction to his gym video shows just how much people love a story of evolution. Lil Jon isn't reinventing himself so much as he's revealing a side that was always there, the driven, focused, disciplined man behind the hype man persona. He still has that magnetic charisma, still knows how to hype a crowd, still carries himself with swagger. But now there's another layer, one that says, I can turn up when I want to, but I can also turn inward when I need to. And that balance might be his most powerful skill yet. When you think about his journey in full, from the crunk anthems that defined an era to meditation albums, from late-night tour chaos to early morning workouts, it's clear this isn't a phase. This is Lil Jon 2.0, a man who's still here to have fun but not at the expense of his health or his peace. And that's a lesson a lot of people, especially in high-pressure industries, could stand to learn. Now, when someone asks him how he got so cut, he won't have to yell WT. Though, knowing Jon, he probably still will, just for the laugh. But behind that laugh is a man who's quietly proving that transformation is possible, that strength is as much about the mind as it is about the body, and that sometimes the most surprising reinventions are the ones that happen when the cameras aren't rolling.